William Dorsett, I'm here. Do I speak now or?
Yes, please speak now. You'll have 2 minutes. Please proceed.
All right, first off, I really think it's unfair that you made us sit here all day long and go through all these different processes to speak for 2 minutes. It completely nullifies our speech and it kills our entire day. A couple of us had to leave because they have diabetes and other medical related issues. And then, like we should be able to go to work and do our other things that we have to do throughout the day, especially when we only get 2 minutes. That being said, we had a peaceful couple of weeks in the park. We had a peaceful week at Comic-Con, and we had peaceful time at Pride. And that was because a couple of the bad Rangers haven't been around these last couple of weeks. And without them around, we've felt peace. We haven't been bothered. We've been able to do our engaged and our expressive rights pretty well. But the problem is, members of the city see all buskers as the same as vendors. The way the code is set up currently, vendors are getting away with breaking all kinds of laws, saying that they're First Amendment protected, but they're not anywhere near what the code says is First Amendment protected. There are things to test this, like saying, hey, can you show me how you make it? Or if they're saying it's religious, every item that they're selling should have a religious symbol on it. But a lot of these items have nothing on them. They just have a little sign to the side saying, hey, we're religious, or hey, we're political. My shirt right here, this is political. It's also my art. If it was just my art and not political, I couldn't sell this shirt. But if I put my art on a painting and go out, I can sell that. But having it political, I could take this shirt out and sell it. There needs to be a clear situation for these Rangers to work with. There needs to be a clear situation for the police department to work with. And with the lack of resources that y'all have right now, the last thing they should be doing is messing with First Amendment protected activities.
Your time has concluded. Thank you. Raymond Diama.
Good evening, council members. My name is Raymond. I've been busking at Balboa Park since 2017 as it maximizes my ability to express myself. As of the current situation, park rangers are finding every excuse they can to violate our First Amendment rights. They make our gigs look like a crime scene investigations, especially when there are cops and rangers surrounding the buskers just to give them a ticket. This so-called amplification ban is not only unconstitutional, but also a stereotypical enforcement. Just because two bad apples were playing Sound Wars in El Prado does not mean that everyone else has to be punished for their actions. This is not what the fate of Balboa Park should look like by changing this beautiful, creative, artistic environment and turning it into an apocalyptic war zone. And to all the rangers out there, if they're watching this, I want them to ask themselves every morning, am I willing to educate myself on the Constitution that I've sworn to protect, or am I just going to keep doing what people tell me to do and then step on rights? Thank you.
Next is Michael.
Understand when you have police explaining things to you is they have permission in their job to lie. There is case law that says they can lie, and we have a printed policy in San Diego Police Department that says that the only except that they also cannot lie when they are talking to their supervisor about an internal affairs investigation. But everything else is fair game. So if you want to be sure when you ask police officers questions about whether they're about things that are very important to the city, swear them in. Make them raise their hand and testify under oath. That's the only way you can tell that they're going to be true. Now, you took oaths to uphold the Constitution, and I didn't even hear one mention of the Constitution tonight from any of you. That's not, you don't leave that to the courts and to me to challenge your unconstitutionality. You're supposed to take that into consideration in your decisions. I've got the only person right now in the city who's being prosecuted for enforcement as a misdemeanor, the only one. And we can't figure out There's deals they're offering. Just plead guilty and no sentence whatsoever. No sentence, because if she's placed on probation, she can't comply because she can't comply with the law as it is. There are no shelters for her to enter as a 59-year-old woman. You've not provided her anything. And yet you're prosecuting her under the law. And your prosecutors in the city attorney's office don't think that this is the appropriate vehicle to be using with homelessness. So maybe you should talk to your city attorneys in your criminal prosecution unit to figure out what is going on, how you're going to prosecute people when there's absolutely nothing that they can do to avoid violating the law.
I'm just going to read one.
Hi, this is Frances Yasmin Motiwala with Activist San Diego. A few things I want to say. First, just want to thank those who are wearing masks. We have seen an uptake. I have personally seen an uptake in friends and community members who have gotten COVID recently, and I appreciate that those who are wearing masks are doing so and protecting public health. Second, I'd like to advocate for the buskers who are being unfairly treated in Balboa Park, and hope to receive a public statement from city council members on what they're doing to, protect that community. And then I also want to note that we, Activist San Diego, are part of a global coalition working to encourage Japan and the Tokyo Electric Power Company to not dump over 1 million tons of irradiated nuclear wastewater into the ocean. And we hope any city council members who are concerned about the impacts that could have on our community and our tourism and in our seafood would reach out to us to propose a resolution opposing it. And I want to ask everyone to consider that $4 million being requested right now for purposes by the police for surveillance could be used to actually employ so many of our community members who do not have jobs or living wage jobs. Sorry about the background noise. Living wage jobs. We could employ, the 500 places the cameras are meant to be. We could employ 2 people for 8-hour shifts, 3 shifts a day, 24 hours. For far less money, we could employ actual people to be community prevention, crime prevention, and prevent crime instead of actually.
Your time has expired. If you have additional comments, you can send them into cityclerk@sandiego.gov.